We are in America now, and a lot of people have asked what Joy thinks about America. So for this video, Joy is going to talk to us about what she likes and dislikes about America and her first impressions.
I didn't hear anyone honking here.
What is your favorite food here?
Is there anyone that goes to America and they never forget their broomstick?
Really? The broomstick's the thing they need? She's only been here about 3 months now. The first thing that you noticed when you got here was the cold.
Oh my goodness. Well, I was expecting it summer though.
You were, because I said it's summer. So when I picked her up and we got in the car to drive home, we passed through the mountains and it was a full-on snowstorm. So you were able to see snow within the first 24 hours.
Yeah, for the first time, God let me experience on snow, like very snowy, driving in the mountain with the full snow. The first experience, like, it's terrible for me.
Yeah. So I think that's going to be something we're both concerned about for this winter. Her experiencing her first winter. So we'll definitely make a video on that once some time has passed in the winter. There's markets all through the Philippines and it's natural. So I said, hey, there's a farmer's market here. What was your impression of the farmer's market here?
The farmer's market here, it's very different. That's not what I expect, because when you say farmer's market, you can see a lot of things about farm, like meat, chicken, or other things. But here it's different. It's all like handmade bling blings or handmade earrings, necklace.
Yeah, it's more like vendors
selling
things that they made. Yeah.
And there's a few tomatoes thing, whatever. And it's all like food court.
Yeah, there's food court, and they had the fancy food trucks, and so everything was really overly priced.
We went to the farmer's market Okay, we went to the farmer's market today, and I bought this dress, and the lady, she said, it's a kid's dress, but it's fit on me. That's my size.
And so yeah, we kind of walked around it real quick, and then you're like, I'm bored. Let's go.
Yeah, and it's so different. I saw this guy eating with his food in one plate, and it's a lot. I was like,
a lot of food.
A lot of food. I was like, how in the world he could finish that food?
So that's kind of another thing, is how big the food portions are here.
Yeah, it is. Like when we first got in California, our first breakfast is you order some food, and it's good for two because it's so big portion.
That's right. Yeah, the first place we ate was the Black Bear Diner, and we ordered one order and we shared it, and we both couldn't even finish it. It was so much food. So what are your impressions of the restaurants here?
It's very different because compared to the restaurant in the Philippines, there like a lot of people came in and eat there, but here it's like nothing. Like a few people came in.
Oh, they're like empty?
They're like empty, and few people came in, and it's not busy like in the Philippines.
Yeah, that's true.
So
in the restaurants in the Philippines, everything's real busy.
And I wonder, like, are they making money on setting a restaurant here? Because not a lot of people get in and eating there. You know? Because in the Philippines, like every day, like in Manila, there's a lot of people. And mostly if it's Saturday, Sunday, they had a long line. You have to wait. You know, because there's all the chairs is occupied, all the table is occupied.
There are some restaurants like that here, but it's not very many. But yeah, that's interesting. It is. I think part of that is the prices of food in restaurants has gone up so much over the last year that a lot of restaurants have been closing down. People haven't been going out to eat as much, so that's part of it. But yeah, in general, restaurants are way busier in the Philippines. Way busier. The fast food is way busier. We went to McDonald's for the first time. You had a cheeseburger at McDonald's. And how was that compared to Philippines McDonald's?
Then the McDonald's in the Philippines, they serve they had a tray that you can put on. Here it's kind of like different.
It's all cardboard. It's all throwaway. Plastic and paper. And there was only hamburgers on the list.
hamburger
and some chicken
and
nuggets.
chicken nuggets. They don't have chicken or rice, so that's the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when it was our second day or third day here
Mm-hmm.
that we went to a store to get some meat,
Mm-hmm.
and their chicken, it's so smelly.
Well, you didn't know that until you got it home, right? Or did you smell it through the packaging?
Yeah, when I opened, no, not really. When I opened it, then it so smells bad. Like it's made me sick. Like, why their meat is like this? So I have to wash it over and over again.
And when we went into their grocery store for the first time, you were like, "Where's the meat section? Where's the meat?" And it was all like this little tiny section. It was all packaged and
Yeah.
prepackaged, and you were just she was confused, like, "Where am I supposed to get a whole chicken?" And so we had like this mission, like we're gonna go find a whole chicken somewhere.
Yeah.
And we did find a little grocery store that sells whole chicken, but it was still, sealed shut. And it was fresh, but it was fresh whole chicken from a local farm. And that was the best we found.
Yeah, I mean that's very different in the Philippines though, because even in the, I mean you've been there, and we picked the chicken, and they had like a counter area that you can pick the chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the meat section there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very different. Our chicken there, they don't have that smell, but here,
Yeah.
the smell, it's very different.
And just finding the meat that was, you like the other day you asked me if we could just get a pig leg somewhere because you want to cut it up yourself.
Yeah, it's so hard to find a meat here. Usually they like I don't like the pork that they remove the skin.
Yeah, she wants all the
I
skin,
want
fat, and
that one like intact, that they had a skin, and you know, and you can't find the legs of the pig.
yeah,
And like in the chicken, there's some part of the chicken that you can't find it here,
yeah.
like the liver. So
I know you can find liver here. This is probably a different section.
but I don't think
But it's
so.
not like in the Philippines where you'd go and pick through it in the grocery
Yeah,
stores.
in the grocery store, in the market, you can sell all of that. Like they sell chicken liver, intestine, head,
Chicken feet.
chicken feet. So here they
Is that
don't
that?
have that. And I don't know, for some reason, there's a different on their meat too. When you're cooking, it makes me weird. Like it's releasing too much water.
Oh yeah.
Even you drain it, like you set it for a while, so the water will drain. Once you fry it or cook it, they started releasing too much water. Like,
Yeah.
so it takes time to.
It just seems normal to me. I always thought it was just the fat of the meat, but she's like, no, what's all this water doing? Like in the Philippines, I cook it and it doesn't release all this water.
I mean, when you're cooking, I do cook in the Philippines, so like chicken or meat, it released water, but it didn't release that much water.
Yeah.
But here I was like, I wonder if they injected some water or some other
Yeah.
thing, why the meat releasing too much water, and it take time to dry it.
Yeah.
There's different, like.
So what's been the most difficult thing? Has it been the food and finding food and preparing food?
And the first time I find it difficult for me because of the ingredient. But once we find the ingredient that I want, that I used to.
We found an online store where we can order all the different ingredients that she needs for like chicken adobo and whatever it is, and
Sinigang.
but then we also found a store in
Boise.
Boise, which is about 3 hours away, where we go every now and then and can get any type of ingredients. But there's really nothing here in our town within an hour.
I mean, there's some few Asian section in Walmart and Fred Meyer.
Little tiny sections.
That's really tiny, and that's all like Korean. And
so she does mainly cook Filipino food, and so I'm more interested in getting the authentic ingredients, even if we spend a little bit more money. And she loves cooking that stuff anyway, and loves eating it too. So every now and then she'll have a plate of rice and some dried fish we got somewhere, and she's like, the perfect breakfast.
Yeah, I prefer to prepare food at home than eating in a restaurant. Or
Yeah.
I didn't say like the restaurant make a bad food, but I have the body issues.
Yeah. You've had a
So
stomach ache a couple times
yes,
when we've eaten at restaurants.
yeah,
We've only eaten probably 4 restaurants since you've been here.
we eat cheeseburger when I the first restaurant
It's
there.
up here.
So it's
And
two, and then
McDonald's.
when we went to Boise, we ate to the restaurant with the corned beef, and it's so salty.
Oh yeah, that wasn't very good.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so I am really sensitive. It become on the food, like
Yeah.
my stomach.
So most Filipinos wouldn't be like that, but because of your surgery,
I had
you're more
a
concerned about what you eat.
I had a thyroid surgery, and I have only one thyroid left. So
Yeah.
so that's my main concern, and I got food poisoning twice, so I don't want that to happen again.
Yeah. Not here, but in the Philippines.
Mhm.
Seasoning and spices, that was difficult for you. We'd go down a spice aisle and none of the spices were the same as in the Philippines. So she'd be like, I don't even know how to cook anything with any of this. I don't know what any of it tastes like.
I mean, in the first few days here, I tried to cook using your ingredient, but I wasn't happy about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the taste, it's not what I want.
Yeah.
But still surviving, and until
Surviving.
on how to cook with those ingredients. But when we find the ingredient, I can easily cook what I want.
Yeah. Before we move off of the food subject, what is your favorite food here?
Beef jerky.
Beef jerky.
It's one of my favorite if we go travel. Like if we're
Yeah,
going to the
she'll just eat
farm.
it like it's just candy, and like it's a meal. You'll just beef jerky, please.
Yeah,
That was surprising to me.
I like the taste of the beef jerky. So
It kind of has a similar taste and feel to like dried fish, like it's that similar kind of snack,
yeah,
and I think that's why.
they had like spicy. I don't like the spicy, but I like the natural one, the original one.
Yeah.
So yes, that's one of my favorite food.
Beef jerky.
Beef jerky. When we're going, we're driving around or wherever. But yes, I
Yeah.
love it. Sprinkle my eyes when I'm like, I want a beef jerky.
What? Would you say it's
Sprinkle my eyes.
sprinkle? Your eyes are sparkling.
My eyes are sparkling like ah.
Yeah.
So it's one of my favorite.
When you first got here and we were driving home, there's one thing that surprised you that you were kind of shocked about. Do you remember what it was when we were driving? The power lines. You're like, where are the electrical lines?
Okay. Yeah. As you know, guys, the power lines in the Philippines, it's like a spaghetti, or there's like cable everywhere and it's twisted, whatever.
Spaghetti.
It's like a spaghetti. So here it's very different. There's like cable line that you can see, but that's not. It's not like that. And some areas they don't have cable lines. They stick up. It's like, so how they could produce electricity, because I don't see any
Yeah, she was like, where are the power lines?
power lines in there.
I was like, it's right there. She's like, but it's just one.
So yeah, you can see like one line of the. I was like, how they could produce electricity to the whole area? Because in the Philippines, it's not like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why like I always had a fire, because there's like cable everywhere.
Yeah, it'd be a nightmare to figure it out. Driving's a pretty big difference here. How do you feel about
Well,
driving?
it is like yeah, it's very different on
And you haven't driven here yet, other than on the four-wheeler, but
yeah. And
would you feel
driving the
comfortable driving here?
Well, I think so. Well, when you want to cross the line, you can just push this button, and people are very disciplined. They just stop to let you pass by.
Oh, at crosswalks? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very different. I was amazed on how they are very disciplined in themselves here
In
in
driving,
the
yeah.
government and driving.
Well, you'll get a ticket if you don't follow the rules. Or you'll make people mad too. you get honked at a lot. And
Oh yeah,
getting honked at is bad here.
I didn't hear anyone honking here.
Yeah.
You have to wait.
You got to do something wrong, and then you'll get honked at.
In the Philippines, they're like honking is everywhere. Like, you know, you can honk whenever you want.
Yeah, and it's polite.
Yeah, but here, oh my goodness. And you know, you can see people like waving their hands. They're so friendly, even they didn't know each other.
So she ordered a broom from the Philippines
Broomstick.
because she didn't like our brooms here.
So yeah, I feel like I can't clean the yard without a broomstick. So we ordered. I found this on the online store that where we get our Filipino ingredient, and they had broomstick too. So I ordered a broomstick so I can clean the yard peacefully.
Peacefully. She does a great job with it too. She looks like an old Filipino lady with her arm behind her back, hunkered over, cleaning up leaves. And it actually works better than our brooms and stuff. It's kind of amazing, but it's how you do it.
You guys are using now brooms. You're using a rake,
Yeah.
not you know.
Yeah. It's like you have a certain technique though that just captures all the sticks and leaves the dirt alone. It's interesting. You're good at it. I've tried it and I've failed multiple times.
So yeah, I saw a video like a Filipino said like, oh no, it's not video, it's a post like, is there anyone that goes to America and they never forget their broomstick?
Really? The broomstick's the thing they need?
So they had like a comment, oh, I had that one too, and I was like, oh, I had that one too.
Flowers. You like the flowers and the wild berries here. That's one thing you've responded really positively to. She'll collect flowers that are weeds, and she'll bring them home and be like, I want to grow these. And I'm like, those are weeds.
I'll show you the video, guys. For me, it's not weeds. Like, oh my goodness, that's so beautiful. Flowers is everywhere, like here.
And then when we're on walks, you'll see berries and bushes, and you'll want to
berries
see what the berries are like. I mean, you won't taste them, but
I won't taste it, but I do Google to find out what it is.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of like wondering, it's everywhere.
But at the same time, the plants and growing stuff has been difficult here for you because you can't just plant stems into the ground and it won't take off like it does apparently in the Philippines.
In the Philippines, we just, you know, like I saw this rose and I cut the stem.
She climbed up this mountain to get this rose, and then we brought it home and she cut it into little stem chunks and buried it.
But it's so hard. That's not what I thought. Like,
but it died.
Yeah. It died, so it makes me sad. And then, because in the Philippines, we just like cut the stem and just plant it and it's grow. But here, it's kind of like difficult.
You want to talk about some of the wildlife you've seen?
Oh my goodness. I really like squirrel. My goodness. It's one of the best experience to play with a squirrel or feeding them and my hands.
Yeah, surprisingly, there's a place in the cemetery where squirrels just come up and they'll eat out of your hand sometimes. So we started bringing peanuts and.
But you know, now they're suddenly gone, so I can't find them anymore.
And then you chase the rock chucks until they squeak.
Yes. Oh my. Yes, that's new to me because we don't have squirrel. I never saw squirrel in the Philippines, and I never saw rock chuck in the Philippines. So, and I didn't know that they squeak when you're like try to freak them out.
Now get him. And you'll chase the cottontail rabbits, and you'll chase the deer, whatever animal she sees, she'll chase them.
The bird and everything.
The birds.
Yeah, like you know, you can then the farm you can saw all these deer and coyote and
oh yeah, the coyotes
and wild rabbit.
Yeah.
You know, the first time that I noticed here because it's eggplant.
Eggplant.
That's make me shocked because the first time I saw this big eggplant, I was like, why why our eggplant is so big? Because we had an eggplant in the Philippines. It's not that big, you know. I mean, it's like my leg.
It's the size of your leg?
Yeah,
You
like
mean here?
yeah, that's big.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the first time it freaked me out. Like, huh?
Yeah, in the Philippines, it's more like a cucumber size
Yeah,
here.
no, it's not really a cucumber size. It's really thin,
Really thinner.
thinner sometimes, and sometimes there's like chubby one.
Yeah. And then
But
bread.
yeah, and then
Bread is
bread.
big.
Bread is so big. I kind of like saw a lot of different kind of bread. Like it's
Yeah.
blown my mind. Like
Yeah.
why do you have to make bread like that? Like, and I was like, yeah, I think the reason why you guys made the food like big or bread big or everything is big because you guys are big. Onions are so big. I remember us showing my family about the eggplant. I was like, what? And I was like, how do I make a tortang talong with the eggplant? And then I tried to boil the egg and I won't fit on the pot. So it's blown my mind.
Oh yeah. Old people driving and old people working in their 70s and 80s. That's one thing that has blown your mind. You always comment on it.
Yeah, it makes me like, whoa. 70s, 80s people, they can still driving on the road. Like, ooh. I mean, Jason's dad, Jason's dad and mom, they're kind of old too. But, well, they're so impressive. They can drive, you know. And some other people that working on the store, like I saw this guy, he's so old. And I was like, how in the world is he still working? And he walked like so slow. But yeah, they're still working here. They don't rely to their kids or to support them. And some old ladies, they also working here. So that's the difference. Like makes me amazed here. Like
Yeah.
Because in the Philippines, it's very different.
Every time she sees an old lady in a truck or something, she's like, "Ah, I'm so impressed."
Oh, and one of the lady in the food bank, she bring a pile of donation food,
Yeah, she
and
has
she
a
drive
truck.
herself with her truck, and it makes me like, oh, she's so amazing.
Yeah, she's a hard worker.
Yeah, people here are very simple. Like you can just walk or go somewhere without like putting makeup on and everything. I know there's some few people that does that like had makeup on, but I saw a lot of people like very simple.
Very simple. That's kind of more of an Idaho thing. If you were to go to California or something, you'll see a lot more people dressed up.
So I think that's the one thing that I kind of like embrace her here. Like I don't care if I don't if I don't put lipstick on and makeup on, I can walk, because people here, they just don't care.
Yeah.
If you're simple, they more appreciate you.
Yeah. When you first got here,
Oh yeah, something happened in our neighborhood here, and there's a kid go to our house and asking Jason, "Can I borrow your phone?" He wants to call 911.
yeah, there was some domestic troubles happening. So
He just called 911, and it's like 2 minutes or 3 minutes after the police arrive, and the fire truck, and then the ambulance. I was like, there's no fire. And if you call a fire truck in the Philippines, before they got there, your house is already burned. And if you call an ambulance and you're in an emergency situation and you're dying, well, expected that when they come, you're already dead. That's because of my experience. So I had that experience.
So that was impressive. The speed of the emergency responses here was
So
really
yeah,
cool.
that's make me, oh, it's so impressive.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I like here, the way they respond. And if there's emergency in the road, like car, bumped each other, there's always a patrol car that's, already
Yeah.
there. Like they can rescue that quick. They can bring the person to the hospital to
Yeah.
save their lives. Oh my goodness! In the Philippines, it takes time before they came out. I'm not saying that, the Philippines are bad, but I was
Yeah.
basing on what I
As
experienced.
far as that goes,
Yeah.
it's lacking, and I can see how there's a lot of older Americans who are like, I need to be close to a hospital just in case something happens in the Philippines.
And yeah, some Americans they don't want to live in the Philippines when they're older because of
Yeah.
the hospital situation and
Yeah.
it's emergency.
So there you go, guys. That is Joy's list.